Okay, so good morning. So I'm working on this Audi A4. I just woke up last night, so I'm going out and go to the store real quick. Pros and shit. So this customer has coolant leak issues. All right, this is the supercharged one. Oh yeah. So did some research on it. Customer was like, yeah, it started off, he had got, all right, let's back up. He got into a wreck and he just got his car back from the body shop. And then maybe shortly after that, he noticed the antifreeze leak, maybe like the next day. So he did the research, looking up the pipes and stuff like that, seeing it, the common problems with it. So I went and watched some videos myself, and every last one of those videos said that this job was a pain in the ass and it was a lot, and it's not for the faint of heart. So, but I've done a good bit of work. I'm not no mechanic pro but I'm pretty fucking good. I'm gonna say that I can do some. If I got the tools, I can do it. I'm gonna say that. If I got tools, I can do it. So about to dig into this thing. Once I get the supercharger off, I will have access to the water pump, and the thermostat is right down up underneath here, right in this region. And then there's the hose that runs back all the way back there. But I just got to get this out the way. I can't do anything until I get the supercharger out the way. It is impossible to get to anything until I get the supercharger out the way. And it looks like, actually, what I noticed off the rip is these hooks. I seen one video where a guy had them like on a cherry picker, a motor hoist. I might do the same thing, just as I'm pulling it up or whatever, just to kind of have my second hand so I don't break anything, because this is like almost a $10,000 motor by itself. It's like not that you might find one used for like 5,000 or some shit like that. Maybe with like a shitload of mileage, and you probably be doing what I'm about to do right now. What I'm about to do is take this supercharger off. You got massive leaks, as you can actually see that right there. That's like buildup from it spraying all over the place. So this whole supercharger has to come off, and everything around it. So first time ever doing this job. It's gonna be exciting because all the videos that I've seen, nobody actually breaks down how they take apart. So I'm gonna attempt to walk you through how to take this monster off. Alright guys. Okay. So this is what I got. I just got a blanket over here so I won't scratch this paint job up, because he just got it from the body shop, but his motor was messed up, or the coolant system was messed up. So all right, so I got majority of these back portion vacuum lines off. What I'm doing is I'm just disconnecting all of the wiring harness stuff that looks like goes to the water pump, or that hose right there. That looks like it's gonna stop me from pulling this off. So I'm just going around and just disconnecting anything that's attached to it. Probably gonna get these hoses off, or this clamp off first. These two off right here. I don't need to take these off yet. Over here in the back, let me show you this. Get up here. All right, so keep track of where these vacuum lines go. Okay, they're kind of bent in position where they go and stuff like that, but I took a picture of it, and I'm just moving them out the way. There are this bracket right here. This is really funky. So this bracket has damn torque sizes. I think it was like a 25 or something, or 30. So you have one Torx right there, and then you have two that's back behind there. That's one right there. That's for sensor. Shit. Get the light back there so you guys can see. Not that sensor, but right beside it. That hole right there. Not where that screw is loose, but right beside. I can't point my pinky. Not that screw, but that hole right beside. There's one right there, And there is another hole right there. You see the bracket's loose. So in order to get this plug off right here, you have to get this bracket. You don't have to take it all the way out. I left this one screw in, I just swung it out the way, and it has a little notch right there, so you can pull that off. How these come out, these clips, the majority of them, you slide a pick or a screwdriver in on this side, and you lift that tab up. It's pretty easy, actually. I'm actually surprised. And then some of them are like this sucker right here, has a little locking. There, let's focus. Has a little locking mechanism, so you push this up and push it back down. See, I went down into that knot, so you get a pick or something and pry it up. See, I got actually got several of them, different types to get into different spots and stuff like that, of course. Yeah. So now what I did, disconnected these hoses right here. I just kind of pushed that up out the way. All right, these two hoses right here. Yes, antifreeze is gonna come out. All the wiring harness stuff all the way around. Anything that looks like it attaches to this supercharger, I disconnected it. I told you about this bracket right here. That was kind of a pain in the ass. All the clips, everything. So I was like, okay, it looks like it's about to separate. Now, a lot of times the seals will act like it's not trying to let up. And I went and double checked and made sure that there was nothing else holding it. So it was just these 6 13mm bolts. That's pretty much holding it. So just got my little pry screwdriver. And I was just looking around for somewhere safe to pry it up from without cracking or damaging anything plastic. And I noticed this right here, which is pretty cool. And it actually has like a grip groove on it. So I was looking at it, I said, let me see something. So I took my screwdriver and just put it right in there in between. All right. And I angle it away from that line. I don't even know what the hell that hose is. It's probably an AC hose. We don't want to break that. Just got it in there. And boom. See that? So she's ready to come up. All right. So a lot of the tools that you're going to use is all torque spits. So just make sure you have a good set. I think I've used a 30 yet. So it's been like 25, 20s, and 15s. There are some screws right here to get to. You're gonna have to take off the duct, not just this portion of it and that portion up there. Because I'm taking a break right quick. So I got my gloves on, and I need to actually secure this better because I do not feel like going down there and having to put the belt all back on and shit. The only thing it came off was for the supercharger, so I just got it out my way and hanging up. So all I gotta do is just swing it back over there. The tensioner pulley is down there. It was a 17mm wrench or socket. I couldn't fit anything down there. I don't want to take the fan out, but I don't have to. I'm trying to take apart as least amount of stuff as possible. I seen another video the dude took the whole bumper off and stuff like that. Like I said, this just came from the body shop from a wreck. I don't want to touch any of this shit because when they do body work, I'm not fucking with it. Anybody works in the body shop, you know what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so now there was something else that was important. The stuff in the back, all those clips, those two right there. But I went and pried and like lifted it up some. So, but oh yeah, this right here. So in order to get to this duct, there's gonna be another T20 right there, that black one, and this is like kind of rubber, so you could just pry this out of the way. You don't have to take the whole strip down because there's several screws. Just this one, and then you access that one, and then there's another one right over here, and then that allows this to come out because it screws into it right there and right there. So then you'll be able to get that out the way and be able to get to the tensioner pulley. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but I got little hands, so thank God. Yeah, so now I'm gonna get this motor hoist and hook this thing up and go up slowly with it and just kind of check and see if there's anything connected on the back side. All right, so we got this supercharger off, and now we're at the point, come zoom over here. You see a whole bunch of leakage and stuff like that going on right there. I seen like a trail that leads in there, so I know it's gonna be one of these O-rings. I'm gonna take this whole line off and replace all the O-rings in the line, and change the thermostat while we got it open. I really want to change the water pump, but you know, it's working. At least I know how to get in here now. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was just a lot of stuff back here in the back. All these connectors and stuff like that, and these vacuum lines. A lot of that stuff was tucked underneath, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to get to. So, but now what we're gonna do is take all this off, all these lines. I might have to take this off. Let me see what if I have to get to the hose, because this hose right here, this radiator hose goes up underneath, and it looks like there's a screw in there, so I'm gonna have to get my mirror and see. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna attack that. So once we get all that off, then we'll be able to see where these leaks are really coming from. I was gonna go buy a pressure kit and put it to it, but you can visually see pretty much where everything's coming from, and especially when I get that hose off and I, you know, really get down in there, I can see everything. But for the most part, this is not for the faint of heart. If you're not an experienced mechanic, I would not recommend you even attempt this. I swear to God, don't. And that's why all the videos, they never show how they got it off. None of them show. So I'm gonna go in reverse because I got some clips, you know what I'm saying, but I was really concentrating on what I was doing. But I'm gonna kind of go in reverse, so as I'm putting it back together, I'll show you what I had to do to get it off, if that makes sense. All right, you guys, peace. Okay, that's better. All right. So this is the hose I'm trying to attack right here. I'm trying to see from it. Please don't drop my phone. That hose right there. So I'm trying to get that clamp, and there's another one. It's actually further down. I don't know if it's an angle, but there is another one down there. Oh, this is the inlet. Oh, excuse me, one of the radiator hoses, and it's held on by another hose at the bottom. There's two screws tucked in that madness back there. I'm gonna have to get, when I clean it up, I'll be able to show you guys better. And then there's two bolts that hold it onto the block on that side as well. So it's a total of 3 screws that hold it. There's 2 on this side, there's 2 on this side. I think they're T30s, and then there's one on this side, which is like a T27 or a 25 or something like that, right up underneath this. And I know it doesn't look like anything's there, but trust me, there it is. There it is right there. So that's where I'm at right now. Not too happy, man. This shit is not easy at all. I was like, oh shit, I got the supercharger off. Everything should be wide open. This and that. No, everything is tightly. It's tight. It's tight in there. Tight, not in a good way. I should have said that. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna work on, getting that hose off, just the clamp. I'm gonna wedge my pliers down and get that out, and then change this whole T and gaskets to go for that, which is right here. I already got this one out. These two. So a shot on that one. That gasket came off of this sensor right here. It's definitely leaking from right there, and I believe this is a temperature sensor. Okay, so after about a good hour wrestling to get this pipe out, there is 2 bolts. They're holding it on this side, 30 torque, and then there are 2 bolts. They're holding them down that side. You have to remove this bracket, which I need to put that screw back in actually. For right here, that should be a T30. That way you could bend it out and get some more access to get in there, to get to that. Oh shit. To get to, fuck, dude, this shit is a pain in the butt. That hose that's way down there where that water is, where my finger's at. That's the hose where that connects to right here. We end up cutting it because I just couldn't get to it. It was just such a tight fit. I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna cut it, and I'll just replace it and put some clamps on there. I got right here, so I'm easy to get to. And I'm gonna do the bottom one, the one that's the hardest to get to, which I pulled off already. Right down there, so I'm gonna slide it on there, just measure it up or whatever, and cut it. Put the bottom clamp on first, and then as I slide it on there, I'll put both of the clamps on there, and as I slide it up on this one, which would be a lot easier because you knew I could put a little bit of oil and WD-40 in there and slide it up on there. But yeah, it was a pain in the butt. So you got 1,
2, 3, 4, and 5, because this is that hole for the thermostat house that holds that, and then that's for the temperature sensor right there for that. So you're gonna have to do some wiggling to get it out. It's not fun. And this vacuum line, I don't even know what that is. I think it's probably for like evap system. That was all in the way right there. It actually mounts up to this sucker. It slides right on. So if you have to do is just don't try to pull it or pop it. It's not one of the clicks. I thought these were like clips so you could just pop out. I started prying a screwdriver back there, but I started cleaning it up and I like started feeling on it, and I put some threads or the torch bits in there, and I was like, shit's just spinning. It's not stripped out. I think this thing is plastic. I think it's just burnt on there, some shit like molded on there. So when I went to go push it and I seen like these little tabs like that, it just pushed right on off. So I was like, all right, cool. And somebody's been in here before because they had a zip tie that secured these 2 vacuum lines for this right here, because it sits down there, and if you can see the slide portion of it right there, that little hole which slides down in there. Damn it. So I'm about to go get this new thermostat, and probably gonna cover that up, and I'm gonna vacuum down in there. I'm debating on whether I should take this pipe out. Probably should, but I don't see that it's leaking, and it's not no whole bunch of water down there on that side. Most of it was coming from this gasket right here, which goes into right in there. And this actually has another rubber gasket, but that came off that flange. So it's actually 2 gaskets in there. There's one inside of here, and then there's one that goes on right there. And that was bad. That's what that is right there. And that O-ring is for the, like I said, the temp sensor, and that just slides right on right there. Alright, so this is what I got. Boom. Duct tape this little piece of pipe that I got. Just random pipe in here so I can have a smaller tube to suck in there. So I'm gonna get it all in there, clean out, get all that trash that fell down the side of there best I can, get all that, and suck out this antifreeze. I got this debris and shit like that in there, and get like in those crevices and stuff. So I'm gonna try to do that right now. Nice and clean. I sucked something up. Something came out in that motherfucker. That came clean up in that thing. There was something definitely down in there. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna check my vacuum cleaner here in a second. But yeah, for the most part, I got it all. The trash that was back from in there, I'm gonna spray it off some more. Clean up the surface. Before I get ready to set that gasket on there so I can get it seated right. But yeah, I already got the tube kind of in there. It's got it setting in there right now because I'm gonna have to wrestle with it to get the thermostat housing on, because it comes on right here. Super cold out here. It's raining. Whatever. Okay. So with this, I got the crossover pipe in. That was a pain in the butt to get down in there. Screws. Screw right there. And that one right there. And then there's another one. Where that line is, it's right below that damn line. And then there's another one down below it that you can't even see because I put that vacuum line thing back on there. And it was zip tied before, but as I was putting it back together, I noticed it had these notches in it, and they really just snapped into place right there. And this just slides up on this piece right here. So once you get it apart, you could just actually just slide it right back on, and it'll have these 2 spots right here with those vacuum lines snapped into place. So now that I got that on, and then the rubber hose that's way the hell down there, you can see that clamp that I put on for the short piece of hose. radiator hose that goes right there. So that's probably pretty much the hardest part of this. Got the supercharger back on, just tighten down the bolts. I had made sure everything was straight, there was nothing caught up underneath it. So now I'm gonna work on putting these vacuum lines back together. Now, like I said, keep note that they are kind of bent in the same way that they're supposed to go. Some of them I did have to take some of them all the way out, but this is the main thing I want to point out. This plug right here, you cannot get this plug out unless you loosen this bracket. You do not have to take all the screws out. I left that one in there, and there goes the other two for the back side. Those other two bolts are back up here better. Back there goes one hole, and then the other hole right there. So once you get all the vacuum lines and get this clipped on there, because if you can see this little notch right there on that bracket, it will not allow you to pull that off, period. You will break it trying. I didn't break this one, I'm just saying. I stopped. I was like, this shit is not coming on. So that's my advice on that. And just make sure all your connections are connected or whatever. But I was about to stop working on doing that. Yeah, get that. I'm gonna take care of everything right back there, make sure double check everything, and then I'm gonna come back and work my way around on both sides, making sure that everything's intact, and double checking everything before I put any fluid in here, and yeah, and then go from there. I left this bracket off or disconnected. Screw hole is right there for that, so I can have better play or better opening when I go to attach these hoses. Those clamps back on. I think it was a pain in the butt when I was taking it off. And got the other hose down there clamped on. There. And be sure that it's all the way flush up against that lip right there. It'll look like that. And then tug on it and make sure that it's snapped into place. You want to listen for that clicking sound. This hose as well. Make sure it clicks in place. So I changed the O-rings on both sides of those. The O-ring for the gasket for the temperature sensor, which is now buried, that right there. Make sure that clips in there. This is the inlet that goes to the reservoir. I haven't put that back in because it runs right here and it's kind of in my way. So when I get to that, I'll start clipping that stuff back together. But for the most part, man, this was it. I don't want to say it was like a terrible job. It's just that you have no room to work. Like if I had this whole bumper off, like the grill, the radiator condenser on, it was just wide open, yes, it'd be 1,000 times easier to do this. I would not complain at all, but because it's such in a tight spot and there's Torx heads on everything, it's not like bolts. So even just trying to get the bolts in there to that crossover pipe for the heads for the coolant system, it was not fun. It was not fun at all. I probably will never do this again. If I do actually do another job like this, I'm definitely going to charge $1,000 off the muscle. I'm not taking nothing less than that to take that supercharger off or do anything that has to do anything under there, because it's just a lot and it's very meticulous. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you put all your screws, clamps, hoses, connectors, everything back exactly the way they were. So you can't take no shortcuts with this. And somebody has been in here before. Like I said, there was zip tied down where those two hoses are, but I found out how they clamp into place. So I'm gonna go ahead and button this thing on up and get a couple more steps in, and yeah, get back to it. Okay, she is running. I'll pop the hood again. I think I did. Valve cover gaskets that it's not gonna get. Had major leakage down in there. You know, leakage, I don't like that vibrating. It needs to get a little tuner. I do have a check engine light on, but that is for a small evap leak. So there's a couple of things I want to add. I did not show when I bled the system. Customers really urgent about getting their vehicle back. You know, it's the holidays and everything like that. The temperature sensor had to replace because the fan wasn't coming on. I guess it got burnt out from the excessive heat from the leakage prior to that. And had to clear the codes. You can't use a regular code reader to do this. You have to have like a Zeus or pretty much like a $3,000 code reader. Clear the codes on there for that.
and really just go through it and diagnose, which I do not have. I have access to, but I do not have myself. So I had to do that, and it's fine. Held temperature, no more leaks. Like I said, it's a hell of a job. It's a hell of a job. So I hope it's helped somebody with this video. I'll try to make some more when I get some other cars and stuff like that, some other projects. It's just really hard trying to work and do it and have to stop. It's a lot. It's not easy. It's like all my YouTubers with their bad videos, like you guys, man, it's a lot. It takes a lot of time. You gotta really sit down and do this shit. So alright, you guys, like, subscribe. I'm gonna try to come with some more videos. This is gonna be on my handyman shit, this is gonna be more or less my handyman channel, and then, you know, me fighting my case and really fighting for justice. That's gonna be separate. Alright, you guys.